Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
Hey, everybody. That's right. It is Tuesday. It is 5/28, 2024. I am one of your hosts, Blaze Man. We got a great show for you tonight. We got, Ohio bank explosions. We got the F-35 crash in New Mexico. Explosion rocks Gaza. Okay, again, I mean, it was an accident, but so sorry. Melinda French Gates gives away $1 billion to women's rights. And let me bring in the rest of the boys following Mr. Donald.
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
How y'all doing?
All right. And without further ado, we can bring in my boy, Mr. D. What's going on, buddy? What's happening?
What's going on?
We got a big show for everybody tonight, and there's only one guy that can get us through it. There's only one guy. It doesn't matter what kind of dress you put him on. It doesn't matter what kind of lipstick, eyebrows, anything, none of that. It don't matter, because you know why, ladies and gentlemen? He is a man's man, and the women know it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring him in without any further ado. My boy, Mr. B.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Funding in part for my appearance here tonight is brought to you by the Romana Sambuca Company. That's Romana Sambuca, that sweet flavor that has enough sugar inside it to put any well-managed diabetic into shock. Going in my coffee right here, right now. You think you're going to have a fun show? You ain't seen nothing yet. How we doing, boys?
Good, B. Good, man.
I'm doing well, B. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, we know about you.
I'm just trying to get some more things set up over here before we go. But like I was saying, during the opening, we got a good show for you. We'll touch a little bit on Melinda French Gates giving away $1 billion. I mean, come on. For women's rights, all that stuff like that. One of the reasons why I thought it would be something that we could talk about for a few minutes is for the simple fact is what women's rights, who's going to get this money? You know what I mean? And so, that's, one of the things as well. Also, we got the, Ohio bank explosion. That's something we can dive in for a little. I got to tell you, because I don't know. I watched a clip of it real good, and I'll tell you, man, that was a really good, how can I put it? Organized explosion from that gas. I'll tell you, And we also got, the explosion rocks Gaza. Israel, to me, fellas, dropped the ball, with that. And F-35 crash in New Mexico. I brought that story to the table tonight, guys, is because, F-35s are like just sitting on, Lockheed's tarmacs. And I guess this was probably another test to see if it was, flight worthy, because it's an outstanding aircraft. Okay. Um, Outstanding aircraft, but the thing just doesn't
If it
like to
came out of
stay
Lockheed,
flying.
chances are it'll probably never fly.
Okay, what was that comment?
I said if it came out of Lockheed, chances are it'll probably never fly.
Oh, come on. I mean,
Hey.
Lockheed's one of the best. I mean, again, B, I try to tell you, if you're going to pick a fight, pick a good one, not, to say that Lockheed is, trash company. That's tough. D, do you want to weigh in on this F-35 situation?
Mr. B made the comment, it won't fly. But it's a proven fact. The United States, that's one thing we do make good. You got to ask the Colombian cartels is helicopters, my friend. We make some kick-ass helicopters in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
I'm just saying, but getting back to the F-35.
I was just going to say
doesn't-
helicopter F-35, but go ahead.
It's aviation. You got
Right.
rotary wing aircraft and you got fixed wing aircraft. Which aircraft are we talking about now?
Fixed wing,
Man,
please.
B. You okay, B?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to bow out for a minute.
It's like he was looking at Jesus.
No, he's messing with the flyers, something fucking with him.
The F-35 though, doesn't Israel
What
have
happened?
them already?
He shit his pants.
No.
Oh, that's crazy. But anyways, go ahead. What was you saying, Donnie? Donnie, stay in frame, please.
Hey, no, I was saying Mr. B was messing with a fly or something. The F-35s, there's like their downfalls are getting down, but they're testing a new jet. Sometimes things happen. I think there's more details that need to come out what's going on before everybody jumps to so much conclusion or
right. The F-35 has been around for a while, but it always seems to be that aircraft that has been crashing lately for the Air Force.
Well, then they're downgrading their faults that they're finding. I just read something about they downgraded them, to a category 2, which is, it's like there's something wrong, but it's not going to cause any harm or anything to life or, fatal to the aircraft. Where, they're getting their category 1s that are fatal to the aircraft out. I mean, what you want them to do? You can only run so much simulation. You got to fly the damn thing to find out if it works.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah, of course, D. Go.
I just want the door open. That's all. So the category 1s, 2s, and 3s, that's a level of readiness, right?
Right.
And what I don't like about this is that bring B back so he can hear this.
He can hear, but I'll stop what I'm doing for that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
B.
I had a bee in here the size of my thumb.
Okay, moving on.
I just want to bring them up. F-35 B. That's what we're talking about. And Donnie brought up a comment saying that they've category levels of readiness, and they're saying they're category 2 level ready. And would I be safe to say we can fly them and they can go to combat, Donnie, at that level?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying what I read in the little article.
No, because what I'm
a category 1 would mean harm to life in the plane, so I would think not.
But what I'm getting to is that Lockheed being put to the test on their product that they produced since the first introduction on this F-35 was July 2015. And
that's what I'm saying. It hasn't even been in service for long at all. And what, if you don't mind, I'm pretty sure you're looking at it right now. What's its combat record?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought something you was looking at was showing the
no.
specs.
The point I want to make though here is that an Air Force commander that's responsible for a squadron of these planes, are they giving him the authority to circle something and say, yes, you can fly? Because that's a big red flag, man. And what happens there is that liability is switched from Lockheed to the local commander. Am I making sense, Donnie? Are you with me on this?
I'm with you. And for all that I know, being around Air Force, just talking with people, if somebody's going to get their life's going to be at risk in the Air Force, they're not driving anything. They're not flying shit. They're not driving it. Hell no. So that shit ain't happening. It's not, it'll be okay because Snuffy knows what he's doing. No.
Right.
There's no limited operations like with a wheeled vehicle like we have. It just doesn't happen.
Right.
But I look at Boeing. What happened there? There must have been a maintenance inspection worksheet done on that.
We're talking about.
We went.
No, we're talking flying. We're talking.
We went over that.
We
went over that last week. Go ahead, D. We're not talking about flying.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Because you're talking about a process and a procedure that would happen in the Air Force and the Air Force only. What happens in the civilian sector is a different thing, and that falls under different regulations, different procedures, apples and oranges.
But the procedures, no, Donnie, they're very headstrong on all with aviation, the Air Force and the Army. The Army does have a little aviation.
I know this.
And it's got a pretty big ass Navy. Not compared to the United States
a lot
Navy,
of people, a lot of people don't understand.
GAZA were built by the Army. But no, getting back to the F-35, Blaze, and I'll wrap it up like this. I think it's not Lockheed, it's Norfolk, right? No,
Norfolk, and Norfolk Grumman, but Lockheed, yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
Okay. The only point I got is that I think fucking the F-35, the Lockheed folks are wiping their hands and saying, you guys deal with it. That's all I'm saying. Did they sell them junk? I don't know. I never flew in one.
And all right, Mr. B, your thoughts on the F-35. I mean, it was built and introduced to the Air Force and I guess the general public in 2015. And it just crashed. So, 30 seconds, please, because right now all the news outlets are out and stories are starting to come out about this F-35.
We don't know exactly what it is that put this plane on the ground.
Well, that's what we're going to try and find out, B. If you want to hold your comments until after the video, or you want to comment about it now.
You just asked, so okay, fine. Nope, go ahead.
Do you want to watch the video first?
Watch the video.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Okay, sir. All right.
I got my Down the Rabbit Hole shirt on.
So we're following some breaking news right now out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, as a military aircraft has gone down, has crashed. We do have some visuals in right now here on Live Now from Fox of the scene there at this Sunport Airport servicing Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Las Vegas, New Mexico as well. Here on Live Now from Fox, you can see some of these images coming in to our newsroom on the maybe side of this hill near this Sunport Airport. Not necessarily a military base, but it's also open to the public as well. But we're following this very, very closely. We do have some information, a very preliminary information coming in from Sunport Airport on social media saying a military aircraft has crashed off the airfield on the south side of Sunport. One soul was aboard. The pilot is conscious and being transported. Flight operations have resumed, but check with your airline for your flight status. We're also now hearing an update from officials, from fire personnel on the ground at this Sunport Airport about this military aircraft crash. Let's listen in to what they have to say here on Live Now from Fox.
When you are. Okay, I'm Lieutenant Jason Fair, Public Information Officer for Albuquerque Fire Red. Just before 2 p.m., we started getting reports of a downed aircraft, or as we coded it. This way, it was a joint response with Bernalillo County, Albuquerque Fire, and also Kirtland Fire ended up sending some crash trucks and a wildland truck. So again, that dispatch went out just prior to 2 p.m. County was the first units arriving on scene, identified what they had, initiated a fire attack and a search. There was a pilot that did escape the aircraft prior to it crashing. They started the search for that. Again, fire suppression efforts began, and more units started arriving on scene. Albuquerque sent a full dispatch, so several pumpers, rescues, and squads. Connie, you know what she said?
Bernalillo County sent a first alarm. Truck 38 was first on scene and mitigated the situation. Started calling in for more units to.
Now, did they indicate?
Yes, this was a large
because I was
response.
busy.
It's not
Did they indicate at all why it went down?
As active as
No.
No.
Not yet. Okay.
some port is. That's a good thing.
They won't.
Kirtland did arrive with three
true.
airport crash trucks, which that's exactly designed what they're designed to do. A lot of these crashes do happen off the flight line, so those trucks are designed to get off the road and extinguish fire. Again, so Kirtland's down there. Albuquerque's in command with unified command with Bernalillo County and Kirtland. At this point, that's really all the information we have. The pilot was transported, categorized red, meaning he had some serious injuries, required immediate need for transport. There was 2 other civilians that were also assessed on scene. One was a patient refusal, and one was a non-patient for some of the debris that came across the road.
Looks almost disintegrated,
so
huh?
That's where we're at now. You got anything to add to this?
Were there any other, were vehicles involved at all? Were they hit by debris? Or?
There is a truck parked down there. I think that's where the 2 people
I
were
feel a
assessed
lawsuit
from the
coming.
vehicle that was hit by some debris.
Yeah, that's it for that, there, fellas. So,
If you look at that very tail end of the video, you could see it up on the hill. There was like a scorch path before where we saw the burned out fuselage. So it looks like it probably came down and it didn't nose in. It came down almost like landing, but crash landed, so to speak. That's the best guess that I could see.
So I work for one of them ambulance lawyers, and you know what I picked up out of there? 2 people declined medical attention. I am going to get a hold of them.
Yeah.
Hello? Say I'm wrong. Say I'm wrong, Donnie.
No, you're not wrong. That's probably going to happen. But
Yes.
once again, who are they going to take to court? Who are they taking to court?
You and Uncle
Who's in charge of
Sugar.
that? Huh?
Uncle Sugar.
Uncle
Whose
Sugar?
plane
Oh,
was it? Does it
Exactly.
belong to Uncle Sugar, or was it still something that belonged to Northrop Grumman?
Yeah, let's
You
find
look
out.
like Uncle Sugar right now, Mr. B. All
Yeah,
that sugar you got that damn coffee.
but
No, I am very curious to see whether, of course, they'll do a 15-6, an investigation in the Air Force. And are we going to get the answers? No. This is
No.
something where Congress needs to bring these pilots up there and say, hey, what's going on with these aircrafts? And put them, and we don't need to put them on fucking the Senate floor, put them in a private session room and stuff and get the real truth, because I see a lot of finger pointing going on. It's going to start. Go ahead, Donnie. I see you, brother.
and why are we getting Congress people involved? What have they done so far that's worth a shit? I'm sorry. Why are you going to get the wordless involved in a situation when we need answers? That just makes no sense to me. Why do we get, all the big manufacturers and all these big, of aircraft and aircraft parts? Let's get them involved in the room instead and see what's going on. Engineers, shit like that. Them Congress people, fuck that. They don't need to get involved. They'll just cloudy the matter and they'll make it worse.
But
They want some money.
yes, Donnie, I agree totally with you. But do you think average folks like B, you, myself, can have access compared to House of Representatives, Gonzalez? I'll take my guy, Tony. That's for you, buddy. I love you, brother. He's a Republican, B, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead,
No,
Donnie.
we're not going to get the same access. And the Congress, okay, they could get more access to what? More access to what? What the information that all the engineers and all the smart people that are doing this shit, that make the parts, that do all that, the same access those smart people have? I mean, you put them in the room. I don't need a congressperson in there. For what? He ain't gonna do shit. She ain't gonna do shit. There's nothing they're gonna do that's gonna help solve the problem. I just don't understand.
No, because
Look at
go
this.
ahead, B.
This is a military aircraft we're talking about. First off, you remember back in the Second World War, there were so many different aircraft that were financed by the American government that never came out of the testing phase, never saw action or whatever else. This plane has been out for what, 9 years, and we have this. You know what we're going to get from a front? They're going to tell us that an engine sucked up an eagle wing or some damn thing like that, and that's what caused it to go down. We are never going to know the truth about what's happened with this aircraft. And why? Because all the technology that's involved, they're not going to want to take and put it out there. And as far as being transparency, there's no such thing as transparency when you're talking about military aircraft and throwing all the government secrets out into the freaking public. It makes no freaking sense.
But could this possibly be a case of the woke in the military taking shortcuts on pre-flight checks, pre-flight maintenance?
That could be anybody, Demas. And
but Donnie, if I was in the Air Force and I was that motor squadron crew chief for that vehicle, the aircraft, I'm sorry, I wouldn't be sleeping good tonight. I
say good evening to Mr. Unboxed Thoughts there. See you in the corner. But yeah, any crew chief, and there's a lot of people that aren't going to sleep well tonight over this latest crash. And there's people at Boeing or Lockheed Martin, North Grumman. There's people that make aircraft parts that were part of that for the engine, like Mr. B says, who made the turbine and all this other shit. There's a lot of people losing sleep. So yeah, we're never going to know the truth. And they're just going to write it up to something, training, something. It's just, we're going down a road. We're looking for answers that you're never going to get. So to me, it seems like you're going down a dead end street. So just stop and try to go the other way, man.
Oh, so us as taxpayers, we just need to take what junk is coming off Lockheed Martin. When we go to Raytheon, produces the same plane, better quality, but no, Lockheed Martin's tied up with some big-time senators, congressmen, but Raytheon has the better product. Nobody's smooching their way. That's how it works. That's America. Oh, that's hard for me to swallow.
Yes.
That's hard for me to swallow.
I'm sorry.
Because I'm the buyer. I'm the buyer, Donnie.
Do you want
the buyer.
Hey, do you want some, coconut, some milk, something that you need to help take that down? Because, yeah, that's exactly how it fucking works at times. You know it. You've seen the fucking bullshit.
Yes, brother. Yes, brother. Why do you think I keep... Why do you think I talked to? I witnessed it down there in Washington, D.C. and AUSA.
Exactly. You know it happens like that.
Yes. But I'm just making a point to the viewers, and I go ahead, Donnie.
I wanted to go into this. The whole reason it gets fucked up, though, is exactly what you said, and the whole reason why it goes like it does. Because some Congress people or somebody else didn't get their cut, they didn't get smoothed in or whatever, and now it goes, so we're down to this bullshit. When if they weren't involved and they were more fair and honest, then we probably have the better plane from the other people.
Boys, are we tapping a brick wall to get maple syrup here?
That's what I'm trying to explain to him. Yes.
All right.
But now,
why don't we move on to the Ohio bank explosion?
No. Yeah. Let me just add it with this, man, and I want to leave this point out there. It's a great time come November to have auditors in there.
Yes.
Auditors. So vote the right congressperson in. And me? Tony G. Ain't he a good-looking guy?
Okay. If he's somebody you believe in, congratulations. Fantastic.
Okay, Mr. B, what do you want to know about the bank? I want to hear what you got, because I think that's
my immediate thought from what I saw from what clips I saw on over the mainstream media, this wasn't an accident.
No, it don't look like an accident because
This wasn't an
when you
accident.
look at the infrastructure, I look at the building like from some angles.
Right.
Then the center beams or what? See, look at how the center beams are still intact. Just
Right.
man, there's windows and shit like that out. The gas that means it goes underground, and then the fact that only 8 people were hurt. So to me, it sounds like, or I could believe where somebody say it's a targeted thing that, you know,
Oh,
they want to
so
put dibs
you're a
on.
structural engineer now, huh? Where was that fucking thing built?
I'm just saying,
All
Demon.
right, so let's
Basic
We're
knowledge.
looking at a building that my guess from the architecture was built somewhere in the earlier part of the 20th century, probably somewhere around the 1930s, maybe late 20s, almost certainly mid 1930s.
So it'd be safe to say a
okay.
building like that is it still holds its strength.
Oh yes, they have incredible, if you will, brick shit house type construction things back then. And I mean, look at the size of the
So
windows that they'd had there.
yeah,
Apparently,
the,
there was an expansion onto the top of the building. It was a square uniform type building, and now the alpha beta from the corner exposure, if you can see it above it, the top 3 floors apparently were added on later on, apparently, to it.
okay, we could discuss that another time where you see that structure, but I can see them, sandblasting it clean and all that stuff like that. But I don't know. Anyhow, look, this is a pretty big building, okay, and was nobody like downstairs at all? So what are they gonna say that that the gas just totally, occupied this entire area on the very bottom floor because the windows and doors were so tight. So, and then somebody went by and did what?
Can I
Or
feel this?
electrical unit.
Can I feel
Okay.
this?
Electrical unit went off, or a toaster or something to that effect. Now they said 8 people were in there, so we'll see. Go ahead, B.
Yeah, when you have a natural gas explosion, when gas starts leaking into a building, it won't immediately blow up. You need to have a balanced environment. If you have gas that builds up and it has not ignited, and too much of it builds up, you have a vapor-rich environment. It won't burn. You have to have somebody maybe opens up a closet door, whatever it is, that will give a fresh rush of air that balances there, and you have to have some form of ignition source. And depending on what time this was that it happened, they had said that there was some sort of alarm that started to sound shortly before the blast went off. In theory, it could be
Carbon monoxide detector.
Some form of detector that when that went off, it created a spark that caused the ignition and KFB, curve freaking boom.
Oh, so you're saying that when the smoke detector activated, you're saying that created the spark that blew it up?
In theory, it could be
but who
what
opened
happened.
the door? Who opened the door? Where'd the oxygen come from?
Again, we don't. It could be that, or it could be that the gas and room
I'm
air
just trying
mix
to learn.
finally got balanced properly. It didn't have enough until
from where? From where? Like you said, it was dormant. It was dormant. 8 people got hurt. Did they get hurt on the second floor? Did they get hurt in the lobby? Let's play this video and maybe we'll find out. D, you want to do the video? Or you want to say your comment first?
No. Yeah, I thought you just wanted to pay some bills right now before the video. That's all.
Yeah. Okay, we can do that. Yeah, good call. Gotta have enough oxygen. Jeremy. Thanks, Jeremy, for that. Gotta have enough oxygen. That's what we're trying to get to. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around for more of The Way We See It right here on the FFN network. We are discussing the Ohio bank explosion. It's a bank explosion. Number one, keep that in your head. Number two, they're saying it was a gas leak, and so on. So We will be right back right after a couple of messages, about 3 minutes, folks.
My name is Steven, your public relations officer at FFN Media Network. We believe that every story deserves to be heard. Every voice deserves to be amplified, and every idea deserves to shine. As a small media company, we are committed to creating a platform where content creators, visionaries, and changemakers like you can thrive. You might say to yourself, why do we need FFN Network? Well, let me tell you what we can do for you. 1. Our mission is simple: empower, elevate, and engage. We are not just another media outlet. 2. Our producers will help you build your show, add content, and put you on 15 different platforms. 3. We help you promote your show. Whether it is through captivating articles, thought-provoking videos, or inspiring podcasts, we are here to help you make a difference. What sets us apart? At FFN Media Network, we embrace hard work. Our team of talented producers and creators come from all social classes, ensuring that our content reflects a rich tapestry of experiences, cultures, and viewpoints. Join the FFN team. Join FFN Media Network and be part of a community that celebrates creativity, authenticity, and positive impact. Let us amplify your voice and share your story on FFN Network and with the world. Get to know our founder, Blaise St. Pierre, the new guy in the media industry. So if you have a great idea for a show or a business and want to place an ad on FFN Network, give us a call at 774-704-5145 or email us at ffnnetwork9@gmail.com and join the FFN Network family. Thank you. FFN Network.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for sticking around for more of The Way We See It. Mr. D, I don't know, here he is. And so we're going to get more into this explosion, okay? One of the reasons it's one of our topics, okay, is it happened in Youngstown, Ohio. The explosion injured multiple people. So from what we're hearing right now here at The Way We See It, it was 8 people that got carried out. Let's see. Again, the discussion that we're having here is conspiracy. It's a bank gas leak. Trying to see where, or I'm trying to figure out where there's a gas leak. Did the bank have a kitchen or whatever? But before that, D wants to open up. Go ahead, D.
I just want to make this one statement to Mr. B. Has terrorism been ruled out already?
I have no information one way or the other with that. My suspicion is this was not an accident.
Okay, thank you,
No.
B.
It's a brand new story. It's about 3 hours old. Donnie?
But I don't think that was an accident either. That seems like there was purpose to that explosion. I don't know. I've just seen some shit get blown up, and a lot of times when gas gets done, it blows up, a whole lot more. It goes up. That explosion seemed to go out. I just don't.
Yes, it does. It
But
blows
where does gas
outwards.
pipes from? But where does gas pipes? They run across where we put framing structures, right? You don't run a gas pipe just in any old fucking place of the wall because you got to screw it down. That doesn't make sense to me. And then
Right.
all the apartments on the 3rd floor, none of those windows are broken out. Nothing's broken out on the 2nd floor. And you're saying there's a gas leak. That just seems kind of weird.
I have a couple of points. to make. First and foremost, Blazer mentioned something about a kitchen in the bank. There's no kitchens in banks. Okay. We're also looking at an environment where things are starting to happen within the banking community where a lot of people are suddenly starting to lose their jobs and so forth. There could be an inside motivation to that. Now, wait. Also, if this was a gas thing, what would be causing natural gas to be flowing inside a bank where inarguably temperatures are in the 80 degrees and so forth? They're not heating.
Right. Because right now we're speculating about a story that we haven't even heard yet. You haven't even heard the story. The
I'm just
video
saying, the
is
more I
sitting
think
here.
about this, the more this
The
sounds.
video is sitting here with all the basic content of what happened. For all we know, you listen to the video, they could have said where the gas came from. So can we not speculate on anything? Because this is the first time I'm watching the video.
But Blaze, some people are real good, man, when it comes to analyzing a situation just by face value.
I'm trying to tell you something.
Right. Listen, and I
But they
agree
played
with
the damn
that.
video.
But
Quit talking.
Yes.
You know, it warrants that, you know? So,
Okay, brother.
all right, first we're going to show the explosion, the actual explosion, all right, so everybody can get an idea of what Mr. Donald has said about the explosion and what makes him think that it's a suspicious explosion, along with architect Mr. B and crime scene captain. So let's take a listen here.
Crime scene captain. That's
all right. Here we go. So I'm going to try to hit it. Boom.
Wow.
See, like Donnie said, everything's coming outward, D. You know? And I'm sure if we seen the other angle up top where the 7 is, behind down that street a little bit, you'd see it all blowing out that way. Now, let's look at this other one real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, bear with me, and we'll have it right up there for you. Okay.
You didn't even finish that video. There was
anyway, Donnie, hey, pa. You know what I mean? Kalabuka. Anyways, so his side of the, you know, of the, you know, the I'm figuring what side of the building that is. I believe it's this side of the building right here. If you could see my cursor. Yeah, there.
You'll be able to see.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So, well, let's hit the video. Then we'll go back to the explosion because the other video is explosion only. So we can slow that down and go whatever. Does anybody want to add anything before I click this video to continue?
One thing, very important. Move your cursor over to the far section of the building where you just had it. All to the left side, the extreme left side of the building. There, right there. Now, go to the extreme right side of the building. Don't those windows both look blown out and in almost exactly the same formation?
On the first floor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Like it was a planned charge.
Where's the vault at in this bank?
Right.
Did they have one?
Okay.
I don't know.
This isn't the question.
You want to hear the video now?
Yeah.
All for this
all right.
bank will be
Okay.
more centralized.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play the video, give everybody a hopefully a good idea of what's going on here. So, oh, you dumb. I don't want that bitch. Yeah.
Entire building behind me blew out. Let me give you a close
Again,
look. I'm going to have
remember
Damien
those words,
zoom right in so you can
so
look
we
right into
don't
this
see
building.
this one
What you're
anymore.
looking at is a Chase Bank at the bottom of what's known as the Realty Building. As you can see, that entire first floor is blown out. Now, also, if you'll notice, above that, that is a 13-story building. That is an apartment building where people were living at the time. We also have our drone team here, the KDKA drone team. Let's take that video because you'll be able to see from the air exactly what a blowout it is. Notice the sidewalk. Notice all of the windows are gone. Notice that the emergency personnel are still there. Okay.
There you go, B. There's an excellent shot of what you was trying to explain from extreme left all the way extreme right. This looks like an entrance right here, B, and so does this. Anybody agree to that? This looks like it was an entrance, and so does here. Okay, only because, it's got that little platform that sticks out that usually has like the saying of whatever it is and a neon. Same thing over here. So I'm saying these are both entrance points, gentlemen.
Hey,
I have a
Blazeman,
theory.
there's the need for gas. I didn't know this place was 13 stories tall.
Well,
This
yeah,
building.
I'm
No,
saying
but the need for gas is needed in this building, and
right,
it goes through the bottom floor, like Donnie made mention, through I don't know what the
right,
hell they call it.
right. Okay, all right. So, the gas, okay, it starts leaking down there, and then from somebody else's pipe that's receiving gas upstairs in one of the apartments, right? Everybody's with me. So
Yep.
then that
Right.
fills up in the bank, and then it does all the special effects that Mr. B was saying a few minutes earlier. Let's listen some more.
Okay, so what is the situation and what do we think happened? According to our sister station, our CBS station here, it is our understanding that they were doing construction in the basement. The construction workers heard a hissing sound, smelled gas, ran out of the building, and at that point, the explosion happened. The explosion was so powerful that it was apparently felt and heard all over this entire downtown area. What you're looking at is Federal Street there, where it actually occurred. There are apartment buildings nearby. There are office buildings nearby. There is a hotel right across the street. Now, how is everyone doing? The good news, no fatalities reported at this time. Unfortunately, the bad news, several people were transported to the hospital via ambulances. We don't have updates at that point. But at this moment, what I'd like you to do is listen to some of those construction workers who were actually on the site during that explosion.
All right, witnesses, guys.
I'm just glad everybody got out. And I hope everybody that didn't get out, they're safe or they're not hurt.
A lot of emotions right now because one of my friends was in the bank across the street and he went in to grab people, and I don't know, haven't seen him since.
Are you on me? All right, so here's the bad news. We're literally getting live updates as I'm talking to you here. We now know that 7 people were taken to the hospital. Tragically, at this point, 1 person is unaccounted for. Now, we were the first Pittsburgh news stations to arrive on the scene, and when we got here, we were still hearing sirens going, and they have every single downtown street blocked off by city dump trucks so people can't come in. As a matter of fact, there were some people standing a little closer than we were, and the policeman actually came up to them and asked them to move because they're not sure of the structure of the building. So where does that leave us now? At this point, we know the bomb has been called out. We do know that structural engineers have been called out. This will be a very active, fluid situation as there are emergency vehicles everywhere. Now, we certainly have you covered here. My colleague Jennifer Barrasso is on her way here. We are going to keep you updated online and on air with continuing coverage because, look, Megan and Ken, as we know, as Pittsburghers, we have experienced some tragic gas explosion events. This is in the middle of downtown Youngstown, surrounded by buildings. Bomb squads are here. Structural engineers are here. We don't know what will happen next, but very active. We will keep you posted, and the minute we hear anything else, we will report back in. In the meantime,
B,
live in
what's on your
Youngstown,
mind?
Ohio, Barry Pintar, Kitty.
Okay. We did hear. Hello. Okay, there we are. We did hear he had said that there were construction workers who said that they were doing some construction in the basement and heard a hissing and then evacuated and then the explosion took place. Something tells me that again this isn't something that just happened. Gas didn't just start leaking on its own. Something happened here that maybe during the construction or if they were doing some demolition or whatever else, something may have taken and struck a gas main that caused a crack or a weakness in it that finally let go of it and got yanked on it, pulled at just the right time, and
Well, construction wasn't doing anything around an area like that to pull on any gas pipes.
In the basement, you have no idea what they're doing if they're doing some major renovations and they're knocking through walls.
Wouldn't they have said it? Wouldn't they have said, "Oh, yeah, we were working construction next to gas and gas pipes or whatever," and then we heard a hiss? He didn't say that. All of a sudden, he said, "Did they?" Go ahead, D.
Nah, brother. Yeah, I'll solve this in 10 seconds.
All right, solve it in 10 seconds.
I hope the construction company's insured and bonded, but if not, Joe Biden will send the money. The construction guys, they're responsible for this, dude. And time out before you jump on me, Blaze, man. Look at Notre Dame Church. That church was built like in the 18th century. It had the biggest steeple second to St. Anne's in that community we lived in. It was started by a construction worker.
Which Notre Dame are you talking about? The one in Paris? Or?
No, that Paris, that one went down too. And that was construction workers as well.
Well, that took 400 years to build.
Yeah, but their purpose wasn't there to fuck with gas pipes, though.
Bro, they were underneath. And then when the reporter said, we stopped 2 construction workers, they weren't working on that building because they were definitely instructed to shut the fuck up and not say a word. So I'm kind of a little shady on that. But I'm not going to get to what Donnie's going to take. But one thing also raised up, why did they put dump trucks there? Usually when they put dump trucks to block exits and stuff, it's like a VIP Biden or Trump going through the city, or there's bombs or something. So that threw me for a curve, and I yield back. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, I'll tell you about the dump trucks being there. That's easy in case the structure falls and we got a bunch of gravel to pick up. Well, I got a bunch of trucks here. And what's maybe the most convenient to get in that emergency situation? Who knows? There's logic behind that somewhere.
Okay, so you heard bomb. You heard bomb. Tell me the logic on that.
It's such an easy getaway to not try to explain more of why you think what happened. I mean, I don't see any.
Maybe I'm not the guest for you, Blaze. Maybe you need to hire somebody else.
To me, I wasn't even fucking talking to you. Anyhow, to me, it's like, where the fuck did my cursor go? To me, they sit there and they go, "Oh, I hear fucking what is it? I hear hissing." Well, we heard hissing and then we got out of there. So hissing, and it fills up that much to where you get like a serious explosion of this magnitude. You're not up. You're not up, B. Just look at this thing. Go ahead, Donnie.
To answer your little question right now, like I answered Demus's, yeah, I can fill up that much because the construction workers, they probably had plans, did their permits. Were them plans up to date? Maybe not. So maybe they're digging somewhere. They think they're good. Plans say they're good. Nope, they're not good. So they can run out. My question is, though, where's the spark? Where's the spark? Because if you hear hissing, you get out, you go cut off the gas line. Well, if there's no spark, there's no fire. So that's where I'm confused on when somebody's going to say, where'd the spark come from to set that off?
Right. D?
Mr. B said it. He said the spark could possibly have been from a carbon monoxide or a gas detector. I mean, B, you were a firefighter. I wish my son was around to talk about drafting and stuff. But the big point here is gas rises, correct? Natural gas?
Yes.
Gentlemen.
Like heat rises. Gas, it rises.
There's something that we're a fundamental thing that we're forgetting about here. How many of you have ever smelt the odorant that they put inside natural gas, so that if it's leaking, you can smell it before it becomes a danger. Have you ever smelled it?
Yes.
You must. We all
I
smelled
think we
it.
all have. Yes.
Okay, all right. Now that odorant is so strong so that if let's say there was some little pinhole leak that had been leaking in this, it had been sitting there and just waiting to breach for a year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, and it just leaking a little bit, that odorant is so strong, it would have been detected in that building long before this happened. What we're seeing here and for the information that we're seeing and we're hearing smacks of a very rapid breach and a rapid expansion and expulsion of the flammable gas, which created the right vapor, not just vapor rich, but vapor equal environment that would cause something to happen to have an ignition. Now, as far as an ignition source, it could be someone turning on or off a light switch. It could be, it could, in theory, be something that happened if the detectors went off and it caused some kind of a spark, maybe in a faulty wiring connection going to the annunciator, like a fire horn that would go off in the building or something. Whatever it is, all it takes is one little spark in exactly the right balanced vapor environment, and KFB, curve freaking boom. Off it
Go ahead,
goes.
Donald.
Okay, so I'm gonna put some tests to your theory. They have a report of anybody. They had one report of one person unaccounted for. Everybody else had slight injuries, but they're not critical injuries. So if you're saying that somebody did it by a switch or something else, Mr. B, then there should be something coming about remains somewhere in that building, and that's not coming out. So it's very odd that also they talked about the construction workers getting out of the basement. Well, how far down is the basement if that thing's 13 stories? Because I only see about 5, 6 above ground. So how far down were they when that occurred?
Many times buildings constructed back in that era had several sub-level basements.
Exactly.
Yes.
So let's see where they're at. So there's just so much that isn't there. That just doesn't make sense. But like I said, that just everything goes out. That just, I don't know.
So you don't think, Donnie, that this was done by the construction guys? I do.
I don't think it was totally done by the construction guys. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. Because you looked above, they said there was windows blown out, but it doesn't look like all the windows are blown out from the upper floors.
No, they weren't.
You don't see any kind of flame marks going up anywhere to indicate where the gas and the fire went upward.
No, you didn't.
And usually gas pipes or stuff are on, I don't know, man. There's a lot not there. It just doesn't seem right. And here's another thing. That's a real estate bank. With everything going on nowadays, let's be honest. And what was in there? What was in that building? What was in that building? What was in that? And all this stuff? No, let's take it to this level. Let's take it to this level. Let's talk about with all the reparations and all that other shit going on around the country. And everybody wants their piece of the pie. They want to take back this. They want to take back that. I'm the rightful owner, blah, blah, blah. What the fuck was in that building? So that reminds
well, what's in that bank? I believe mortgages are all now electronic.
Deed to land, though. Deed to land, paper. Deed to land, paper. Maybe they ain't caught up enough.
Deeds of land are usually kept in recording offices, registrar's offices, and so forth. They're not kept inside banks unless the bank wholly owns title to a property or something.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be kept inside a local retail banking office.
But how much has Chase bought up lately? How much has Chase bought up in the banking world lately? Haven't they been involved with some of the buying up some of the people that went under? So is that's their building now? Was it really their building before? I don't know. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah. I'm still. If we're going to go down that path, I would be thinking something having to do with maybe a disgruntled employee. But
So I'd like to add on Donnie's little conspiracy he's got going. I'd like to feed the monster, if that's okay, Donnie.
Yeah.
So you're saying no, and you're saying I'm trying to be better at this. You're saying somebody from Chase Bank, senior executive leadership, saw this region, Youngstown, Ohio, which supports Pittsburgh and all this other shit, hired a James Caviva, like person of interest type of guy, to blow up this building.
I just said no, Demas, no. I just said the whole time we've been here that it seems pretty odd. Only that first and maybe second floor seems broken. Not everything else seems broken. I think maybe somebody wanted to blow up something that was on that first floor. Maybe that second floor, maybe underneath. I don't know. It just seems odd. It just doesn't seem right.
could I elaborate a little bit on that? Maybe give you another little direction to go with that. Maybe it was done by somebody who wants to harm the bank, but not the people inside the building, the innocent people living in the building.
Oh, so somebody that wants to be socially responsible and not hurt nobody, but I want to get after the bank. I want to get after where something's at. It's real estate, something. There was something of interest in that bank, or that building. That's what that tells me. The whole scene, the way it looked, there was something of interest in there.
Right, Donnie. And as you were saying that, it just intrigued me a little bit. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, because Google really doesn't like to give anything out if it's, hasn't got the okay or whatever. And I found something pretty interesting. Here it is right here. Why is JP Morgan carrying out safety checks after explosion at Ohio building?
Please. Wow.
Why is JP Morgan carrying out safety checks?
That's Reuters too.
Let's see. I got to make it bigger.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
JP Morgan Chase is in close contact with local officials after a building explosion in Youngstown, Iowa. A bank spokesperson said in response to questions after a video of the purported blast was posted on X. The company is checking on the safety of people in the buildings in area. The spokesperson said, adding that it will then work to determine what happened and assesses the damage. I don't know. It's JP Morgan owns Chase Banks, right?
JP Morgan and Chase were merged back, I believe, in the 1980s.
Okay, yes, would have been good. So that bank that blew up was a Chase Bank. Okay, and now again, JP Morgan's carrying out safety checks. Safety checks for what? Are they putting the rest of their banks on alert for some reason?
No, they're doing safety checks because their insurance probably tells them they need to.
Yeah, but this was dated. No, this was today, dated 5/28.
Yeah.
I mean, well, he just got this off. Shit.
Okay, so
this
what?
Is Rutger. Go ahead.
What you just explained in there, they're like, as soon as we found out that it was purported that we found out that our building blew up, yeah, they initiated all this shit. And people put it out there. Whatever, man. It's a CYA thing. That is nothing more than CYA. And cover my ass as a company, as an organization, and then I'll go get all the facts.
It's a good point all about all this. Just a little time we spent on this video. I mean, this topic.
Oh, we got to take a break. Go ahead, D. I'll let you finish up.
Yes, please. Thank you. Was how we interpreted this and how all of us were different in our conclusion to what happened there at the Chase Bank. But what concerns me so much is how the media can twist this too, man. And they're a little more educated than us and funded a little better than us. But this is how we live now. That's all I got, Blaze, man. Thank you.
All right. B?
I stand by my assessment. I believe that this was not just some accident waiting to happen. Something more happened here than what we're being told. And I especially now knowing that J.P. Morgan's putting these things out here, I see that as more an urgent risk assessment, thinking that maybe something, trying to find out what the hell happened and is it going to happen on any, or are there dangers of it happening on any more of our properties? I think they're expecting something more.
Okay. Donald?
No, I got none.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. What, D?
Did that alert come from law enforcement at the highest level, FBI? Just saying.
Yep. Well, what we're definitely going to do is we're going to pay attention to the story because it's
yes, sir.
It's pretty interesting. So, anyhow, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I just got caught in my wire over there. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back in about 3 minutes or so, and stick around for more of The Way We See It right here on the FFN network.
My name is Steven, your public relations officer at FFN Media Network. We believe that every story deserves to be heard. Every voice deserves to be amplified, and every idea deserves to shine. As a small media company, we are committed to creating a platform where content creators, visionaries, and changemakers like you can thrive. You might say to yourself, why do we need FFN Network? Well, let me tell you what we can do for you. 1, our mission is simple: empower, elevate, and engage. We are not just another media outlet. 2, our producers will help you build your show, add content, and put you on 15 different platforms. 3, we help you promote your show. Whether it is through captivating articles, thought-provoking videos, or inspiring podcasts, we are here to help you make a difference. What sets us apart? At FFN Media Network, we embrace hard work. Our team of talented producers and creators come from all social classes, ensuring that our content reflects a rich tapestry of experiences, cultures, and viewpoints. Join the FFN team. Join FFN Media Network and be part of a community that celebrates creativity, authenticity, and positive impact. Let us amplify your voice and share your story on FFN Network and with the world. Get to know our founder, Blaze St. Pierre, the new guy in the media industry. So if you have a great idea for a show or a business and want to place an ad on FFN Network, give us a call at 774-704-5145 or email us at ffnnetwork9@gmail.com and join the FFN Network family. Thank you. FFN Network.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Way We See It with yours truly, Blaze Man, Mr. B, and Mr. D. Mr. Donald will be back in a few minutes. Airstrikes rock Gaza camp. Okay, it's just how many times and I hate to use the phrase, but how many times? Okay, B, just let me talk for a minute, man. Um, let's see. So, I mean, how many times do you say, "Oops, we made an error"? D. I mean B.
Oh,
Sorry.
Okay, two things. First and foremost, why are we discussing and hearing this when nobody's talking about the rockets that came out of Gaza and headed towards Jerusalem? Why isn't anybody reporting on that?
We are right now.
No. You're talking about rockets that went into Gaza and something apparently went wrong.
Yeah.
Rockets went down and they took out two upper echelon Hamas people, and some form of explosion, for some reason, a secondary explosion took place and it ignited a very large fire, and that's where all of these civilian injuries came from. But nobody is reporting
Was the
about
fire?
the rockets that had been launched and gone towards Israel and that had come out of Hamas. That had happened.
Were shot down by the dome. No civilian casualties, no fires, no nothing on Israel's side.
So Hamas
And
is still a threat.
they were conducting a mission here, B. They weren't conducting, oh, we're shooting rockets back at you because you guys shot rockets at me. They were conducting a mission, and again, oops, we shot at the wrong building.
No, they didn't shoot at the wrong building. They shot at the right building. Unfortunately, things that were adjacent to it went up.
So they
as
got
well.
the wrong intel? They got wrong intel?
No,
No, I'm still waiting for you to explain.
People put the wrong flammable material too close to a building that they shouldn't have.
Okay, I got a little work to do at it.
Bring Donnie in. I didn't hear that, B. The fuel and stuff.
It was fuel or ammunition that had been stacked and piled there right next to the area where all of these people apparently were the refugees had been a refugee camp. And when they went after and hit these guys, it caused a fire that summarily this other stuff went up, and that is what caused the fire that swept through and killed 15 people.
You know who's been in Israel just recently, right? One of Trump's competitors, which she's not anymore. I told you, Nikki Haley.
Where is she?
She just came back. She's been in Israel for the last couple of days. I don't know when she flew back or anything, but she did make a statement. She says how basically, in layman's terms, yeah, I'm sorry, Donnie. Blazeman is not at the controls and we can't bring you on. What was I going to say, B? What are we talking about? Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley came back and
she basically said, send them what they need and nobody should tell them. They are fighting. She said it this way. They're fighting America's enemies as well.
Yeah. Yep. You're preaching to the choir here. I understand this. I know this.
And I know you are the choir, bud. And that's why I was hoping Donnie could jump in real quick because I know he has a little revolt in him today.
Well, I'm telling you news that I had seen only minutes before our program came on. But they were saying that this is what happened. They did their firing mission to take out this guy, and unfortunately, it's set off or set a fire or whatever, something that was adjutant to the area, which caused that large fire, and eventually those 15 people wound up getting killed and the others injured.
Yeah, that's what the Israeli colonel person was saying, and that's what they're putting out. You know, Palestinians are saying another thing, but once again, I agree. I like what Nikki Haley said. give them what they need and get the hell out the way, because no one talks about the part of the struggle that dates back to biblical times, where Palestinians, some Arabs, jihadists, the extremists, they don't believe that the Jewish people should even exist as a group of people and ethnicity. They damn sure don't want to let them have their own land, even though that's what was in some British paper long ago when Britain owned that part of the world. There's some other documented shit there saying that Israel should have a free state. Well, they don't see that. And nobody talks about, you're not going to end that fight until one of the two sides that are in that fight end it. The rest of the world can say what they want to say, and we can try to, hold back arms or do whatever we want to do. Well, that's fine. Then this shit's just going to keep moving on at a slower pace then. Because Israel's not going to stop until they're satisfied.
Right.
And they have a pace where they know that their people will be free and be able to live peacefully. Nobody's listening to that shit.
Right. And we got a video. A deadly Israel airstrike hits camp of displaced civilians in Rafah. Let's take a watch.
That's what we just been talking about. That's the one where the colonel says that our ammunition that we dropped would not have caused that much damage. Other things were in play.
How was it dropped? Aerial, artillery?
I don't know, Demas. I saw the clip.
Just asking if you know,
video.
Bro. That's all. Just asking if you know. I'm trying to guess if it's artillery, I can take a guess on the ammunition. If it's an aircraft, fuck no. And if anybody out there that's listening to us that has a little aviation history, both civilian or military, we'd appreciate you calling us at 508-974-4231. As for Austin.
Ask for
Powers.
Austin Powers, baby. Let's watch this bit.
That's you, B.
Overnight, fire and horror in Rafah. An Israeli airstrike at a camp for displaced civilians, setting tents and cars aflame. Fire crews in Hamas-run Gaza say at least 40 people were killed, many of them women and children. One of the deadliest bombings in Rafah of the entire war. The Red Crescent says it happened in a designated safe zone. But Israel says the strike killed 2 senior Hamas commanders responsible for attacks in the occupied West Bank, adding it is aware of reports indicating that as a result of the strike and fire that was ignited, several civilians in the area were harmed. The incident is under review.
Sitting is open.
The UN's highest court has ordered Israel to halt the Rafah offensive, but has no power to enforce the ruling. And Israel giving no sign it will comply, saying hostages are being held in Rafah.
We will not stop fighting for their freedom.
On Sunday, Hamas fired rockets towards central Israel for the first time in 4 months. With sirens blaring in Tel Aviv, the IDF says the rockets came from Rafah. Meanwhile, further up the coast, new questions about the safety of U.S. service personnel after 4 small army boats broke their moorings in heavy seas, washing up in Israel and Gaza. The ships were delivering aid through an American-built temporary pier. U.S. Central Command saying no injuries have been reported and the pier remains fully functional. But 3 U.S. personnel did suffer non-combat injuries last week, the Pentagon says. 1 seriously wounded.
What's that boat say?
And you can probably hear the wind howling here in southern Israel. That's what caused those ships to actually break off their moorings. If I step to the side here, you can see in the foregrounds, that's one of the ships that washed up on the beach here in Israel. There's 2 more about 20 miles down the coast in Gaza. And in the background, that larger military vessel is involved in the recovery effort. Now, U.S. Central Command tells us they did manage to get 1 ship off the beach here in Ashdod earlier, and they're hoping to get this one off sometime soon. Craig?
Raf Sanchez for us there in Israel along the coast. Raf, thank you. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show.
It's like,
Come on, Blaze. We grew up with Al Roker, man. Be nice with him, bro.
Yeah, Al Roker. Yeah, he's been through a lot. Yeah.
You remember when he was a ton?
Sure. I think everybody remembers it when he was a ton.
Ton of fun.
Look, here's my biggest thing, and on the the news clip that showed, I mean, when Hamas shot up their their rockets over there, and in the dome took it down and all that stuff like that. So to me is they're telling people in Gaza, go here, go here, go here. They go there, and you're still fucking hitting them with bombs, and innocent civilians are still being killed and maimed and hospitalized. And anybody?
Well, then, when those that are oppressed and those that are, dealing with this, we've seen before, Hamas is not, they're hiding wherever they can hide, and they're going to use hospitals. They're going to use all them areas. They're going to use those areas, those safe zones to hide, because this exact thing, they wouldn't want it to play out. Well, Israel's like, hell no, we're going to come snipe your little ass and use low level stuff. I mean, once again, this goes back to where I said a long time ago, how far are you willing to go to cut the head off the snake to eliminate the problem? Because elimination is a solution. So how far are you willing to go?
Shit, and President Biden is going to bring pieces of that snake over here to the United States by letting refugees in.
Yep.
Man,
Go ahead, B.
These people go ahead, man.
What year did Sherman burn Atlanta?
What year did what?
Sherman burn Atlanta.
I don't know what year.
Okay. It was back during the Civil War.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
That's what I thought.
Civilians died then, right?
Yeah.
What year was World War II? We were bombing Germans.
Yeah.
Okay. Japan, we bombed them.
Well, yeah, we nuked them.
All they're in places of industry, their shipyards, this, that, whatever else. Yep. Okay. Vietnam, we bombed them.
Yeah, B, your point's not going to be valid, but go ahead and try it. Go ahead.
North Korea, we bombed them.
Yeah.
And some civilians died in every one of these attacks. Even though we were aiming for military targets, civilians wound up getting killed. Why in the hell are we having this conversation now?
We didn't have precision bombs back then, B. Okay, we didn't have precision bombs. We didn't have smart bombs back then, B. All right, so yeah, and that's what the military does. The military says, how can I find the most badass fucking weapon but eliminate civilian casualties? And B, I agree with you 1,000%. War, innocent people die. But you don't tell people, go here, and when they comply with what you're saying, and then you fucking still bomb that area. I don't understand. I mean, if you're still trying to get Hamas out of there, then do what you've been doing and push with your fucking soldiers on the ground. Okay? And for the record, everybody who's listening, okay, first thing Netanyahu said is he's following through. He is getting Hamas completely out of Gaza. That's what he said. Go ahead, Donald.
But no, if I can go and I can attack you and I can make my mission or do my objective, complete my objective, and I don't have to put another human being in harm's way, I'm going to do that. You can't ask him to keep pushing with the imagery.
It didn't work then.
It worked just fine,
Donnie.
It worked just fine. It worked just fine. Because here's another thing I just said before I talked before. At some point, you're going down in those areas and you're asking these people, where are the people we're looking for? If you're going to hide them and you're going to assist in hiding them, then we're going to still be here. At some point, those that are peaceful and want peace have got to fight and say, fuck this. No, you are bringing me heartache. You are bringing me pain. You are bringing me violence. Get your ass the fuck up out of here. So when that happens, then maybe you'll get somewhere. But until that happens, we're still going to be doing this shit. And once again, we're talking about what Israel should do with what we have no opinion or no value to how they should defend themselves and secure themselves as a nation.
No, we don't.
Understand?
No, we don't. And you seen how Israel is not complying with the Biden administration at all.
But why do they have to
Biden is doing is like, oh yeah, if you don't do it, then we're not going to give you bombs, man.
Gentlemen,
God be.
there's something else that we seem to be discounting here.
What?
We're dealing with the Hamas, the same ones who said that it was Israeli missiles that blew up a hospital and killed 500 people, and that was not true. The same ones who said that there were people that were going to be taking and releasing and going to be having a ceasefire, and that did not come true. The same ones that have been taking people and putting their military people and their operations in and among hospitals, schools, and living areas where civilians are. Okay? How much you want to bet when they finally do an investigation that the attack that the Israelis launched to take out these two guys had little or no effect to cause what happened to these people?
Yeah, but B, I understand what side you're strongly on, and I get that, but I'm sorry, dude. It doesn't matter. It's you got position bombs. Okay. And I believe like titty of what Hamas has to say, especially the full count of the dead and every time lately that I've been watching a news clip or whatever of what's going on in Gaza, the first thing is women and children. That's all he talked about. Oh, people were killed, including women and children. You got to get that woman and you got to get that child on that fucking camera because it doesn't, do what the network.
How do you discount the fact that I was a lieutenant colonel came out and said the ordinance that they used to carry out this mission does not cause this kind of an explosion? I'm sure they know what they're putting up and what they're firing. I'm sure they know what it does.
Every ordinance creates some kind of explosion or fire.
Yes, but if
I don't know. I'm waiting.
No.
I mean, the guy spent 24 years in his career. He says no. It's no. Okay, could you elaborate to the viewers, please?
Yeah, we'll talk about drone missions in Afghanistan because collateral damage was happening from drone operators. And President Obama, he was big on the drone usage. But they were pissed off with the collateral damage. They put it to the board of the manufacturers.
Yeah.
And they came out with a weapon when it's released from the drone and it impacts the target, it corkscrews them. And the human rights folks were saying, oh, that's crazy. But we weren't getting no collateral damage from that. And that's how accurate that weapon is. I can't remember if it was called a corkscrew or the razor. And that's all I have on that, boys.
Donald?
I was going to just acknowledge Mr. Charles there. Yeah, there was a report and why the Israeli lieutenant colonel, that officer, whichever, they were talking about what they used would not cause all that. There was other things involved that, like Mr. B was saying earlier, ammunition and some other things nearby that, yeah, they were going there. And from what one article I was reading said that the kind of shit that they had in them safe zone and in two buildings where them two people were, staying, yeah, that shit ain't supposed to be there. So let's get all the facts together first.
Shit, Donnie, and let's not forget Uncle Sam. He's got the eye in the sky. I'm pretty sure there's one minimum AWACS plane directing any type of air traffic needs to happen. And then also the MQ-9 Reaper, the smaller drone doing the surveillance of Gaza. So definitely Israel, whatever they throw in there, they're going to get scrutinized. Anything.
They're going to get scrutinized now because it seems like they're starting to, they went through everywhere else and now they got just very few targets left. There's very few space for everybody to hide. They keep marching down and keep rolling through. So, it
Donnie,
seems like it's might be coming to a hit.
But what's the name of that country down there? Not Bahrain. What's the other one? Qatar.
Qatar, yes. Qatar, Qatar, yes.
Israel can finish this tomorrow, man. Ain't there Hamas leaders living in a hotel and stuff?
I would think so. Probably so.
That, and you talk of the snake. I mean, cutting the head off the snake. That's where the snake's at.
Yeah.
Perhaps they're not doing anything again because of the threat of collateral damage.
Right, but if I'm Israel and I can get rid of 2 snake pits in my land, I'm getting rid of the snake pits. If I got to go fight the snake somewhere else, then so be it. But I get rid of them 2 pits. They ain't hanging around for me.
Good call, Donnie. Good call.
I mean, I'm just saying I think that's where it's at, and I really just the more people talk about it, the more they get things, facts and everything else get blown, distorted. They're taken out of context, and it just creates a narrative that doesn't tell a lot of truth.
So, in order to kill a couple of snakes in a snake pit, would you also wipe out someone's freaking livestock to do it?
Wipe out their livestock?
Yeah.
No, you don't need to wipe out livestock to take out a snake pit.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, these guys are in a hotel in Qatar somewhere.
Right.
Why launch an attack on that hotel if the hotel also has 50 freaking guests who were there on business, vacations, whatever else?
Right.
No, Halloween?
No, yeah, that's 2 different scenarios. It's just you got to wait for intel when you have it on the ground too. So if you don't tell me if I had the chance to go take off the snake and the snake's in a hotel room in Qatar, you don't think I got some Black Ops guys that are going over there to wipe their ass out? You damn right I do. You damn right I do. I ain't gonna talk about it though.
Okay,
come on, man.
You can't launch a missile strike to blow the
exactly,
building up.
Exactly.
That's my point.
Well, that's where we were arguing the fact that the colonel or whoever come out talking about we didn't use that much ammunition. But once again, when the media gets a hold of it and it gets spun around, we got 5 different stories coming out over the same shit. But you're right. No one wants to talk about Hamas coming and attacking Israel on a regular basis because the big brother U.S. is doing what they're supposed to do and what everybody expects them to do, and we're playing mediator. So now it's on us. No, it's not on us. It's really not. Israel's going to do what they're going to do, and you ain't going to be able to do shit about it.
Right. Donnie, you're 100% right. Okay. And again, that's why I said it earlier that Netanyahu said that he is not going to stop until Hamas is gone. And that's what he's doing. I mean, the U.S. has been pleading with them. Oh, please, calm down. They got a warrant for your arrest. Calm down. And then Netanyahu's like, oh, what should I do? And Biden's like, hold on now, I'll put Hunter on the phone for you. He's good at that shit. You know what I mean? He knows, I tell one time, Hunter, he was so high one time, he went down like 15 flights of stairs on a headstand. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll let you talk to him anyhow. I mean, come on. Look, this is going to go on. We said it was going to go on, right? So the thing here is that no more Ukraine, right? Who else is giving arms to Ukraine?
Germany.
Germany's been a big,
all the European, a lot of the European countries, Poland.
But I mean, since we slowed down, I think Germany has been the biggest sender of weaponry, right?
Wasn't Japan stepping in too?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
They were stepping in to help out in the Red Sea for a little while with all that strait, what is it called, Strait of Moss or whatever? Hormuz Strait or whatever. Where?
Yeah.
The fuckers down in Yemen, what are they? Hezbollah. That little strait. Yeah, that little strait they messed around. Or Houthis, whoever.
Right. So
Houthi and
again,
a blowfish.
Houthi and a blowfish.
Oh,
exactly.
Okay.
My thing is that Do you think Netanyahu does what he said he was going to do, or do you think somebody whacks out Netanyahu?
Are you serious? You think that's going to happen?
I
Nobody's
don't
waxing
know.
his ass. And
I
if
don't
you
know.
don't, if you still have doubts about him doing what he says he's going to do at this point,
I'm not.
then you're
That's
going to
not
have doubts
it.
the whole time.
That's not it. The propaganda is starting to get to his people.
Okay, and you asked the question. I gave you an answer. Do you think he got no?
I was told, who
Netanyahu
do
is
you
not worried about that.
Hey, Blaze, I got a question for you, because when you first came on this subject, you were a little sympathetic, and I may be wrong and stuff, but do you agree with Israel should stop pounding or pound them until Hamas is dead?
Well, until Hamas is gone. Yeah. He's going to do it anyways.
So there's going to be collateral damage, right?
Yeah. I'm not arguing with that, D. I'm really not. I know, but I can't accept. It just fucks me up a little bit. Excuse my French, ladies and gentlemen. The fact that you're like, oh, move here and go here. And I know how Hamas works. No, actually, I don't. I've never been in that country in my life. But from what I've read, what I've seen, stuff like that, they like to use children and women as human shields. I get that. I do. But Israel should also know that they're capable of doing that, which I know that they do. Okay? So I'm just saying, man, you shoot smart bombs. I don't.
Right.
What do you think the number is actually?
What number?
Total debts of the Gaza war?
Yeah.
What side? Israel or
No,
Gaza? Because
Gaza.
wait a minute, brother. Let's not forget, Israel was the first one to receive kinetic energy and all this decapitations and all this shit.
Right.
So there was like
I haven't forgotten.
Well, it seems like the public has and the media has.
Well, words out in the conspiracy theory world that Israel knew about the attack and let it happen.
Are you serious?
Really, I'm serious.
Words out also that I am actually the Grand Duchess Anastasia. What the fuck does anybody care about stupid shit like that?
I don't know.
I love you.
There's no way in fucking hell.
But you don't mind talking about the conspiracy if it's something that you fucking agree with. And you disagree with this conversation. That's why you haven't said a word yet. Okay?
Come on, bro. You really think that's real? That Israel sat there and, oh, yeah, they're going to attack us, but we're going to let that happen first so we can do it. Hell no. Come on, man.
I said it's out there on the net. It went conspiracy theory.
We also heard the conspiracy theory that Franklin Delano Roosevelt allowed the Japanese to attack Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, he did. But go ahead, D. What was you going to say?
No, shit, man. They shifted gears, man. I
had
get
to
it.
let it happen, D. It's the only fucking way we could have gotten a war. But go ahead, D.
Pearl Harbor, right? That's what you're talking about. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's get back to Gaza. I get it. There's a lot of bloodshed now on the Palestinian side. And myself, I feel for the people. I really do. Yeah, Blaze, you're right. We do have a lot of smart ammunition. But I can't speak for an Israel person or a Palestine person with a lot of sense because I haven't experienced none of that shit that they have.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I corrected myself when I said I don't know any of none of it. You know what I mean? It's just from what I read, what I see, and what I think is, why I'm pissed off about it, okay, is the fact that when you say to go somewhere and people comply, and in their minds, they're like, okay, they're saying we're safe from their fucking rockets and everything over here. So this is where we're going. And 4 days after they arrive there, they're getting hit. I don't know. Did somebody shoot a small round and it hit the ground and maybe blew up a fucking beetle bug or whatever car, and then Hamas says, okay, throw the fucking people in the building and let's light it on fire now. and kill all these innocent people just so we could say, that Israel hit the building with a bomb. And I know and I feel that these people are capable of doing something like that. But that's the only thing I'm missing. I'm pissed off about. All right, because this is where I am, right there. This is where I am with the conflict. Okay, but look, you can't sit there, and I'm sorry, B, I'm jumping on you about it, but you're the one who only, threw yourself out there like Israel can do no wrong, and and things like that. I mean,
Anybody can do wrong, my friend, but to believe a cockamamie theory like that, I mean, you have more luck selling a bottle of tuna and onion-scented douche. Okay, it's not going to
are we
happen.
still talking about Israel allowing the Hamas attack?
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying because there's video out there of their own citizens that were involved in some of what was happening, saying, the police weren't around the town or nothing. There was no any type of law enforcement. Nobody automatically, everybody left the town or whatever the situation may be.
They were
You're going back to October 7th, right?
Yes, back to October 7th.
Yeah, and I seen that video. Go ahead, Donnie. I rudely interrupt you. My bad.
No, I'm just saying they were at a music festival, so all that conspiracy
No,
shit.
they attacked from another side into a town as well. It wasn't just the music festival.
Exactly.
But that's what we're talking about, the town.
Once again,
and you went to the music festival. Go ahead.
Once again, though, they don't have resources. That's like saying that we sat here and let 9/11 happen to us. You really think that happened?
Like saying
no,
that
that's what you're fucking insinuating.
No,
that's what you're.
Donald.
Yes, you are.
The
it's
town
the same
doesn't
thing.
have a fucking police station, Donald.
It might not. Not all of them do.
I don't know that. You know what I mean? These are like basic fucking questions.
Right,
all I'm saying is what I've heard. Do I think it's fucking, stupid? Yeah.
You're looking at an area that was a
But I
cluster
certainly
of
don't
kibbutz.
think that governments are fucking incapable of doing stuff like that, man. I'm sorry.
Nobody.
That's all. It's the only reason why I brought it up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Is it a fickle dangle, shamangle wrangle like B would say it would be? Yeah. But I'm just saying, I brought it up because it really is something that's starting to fucking float around.
But it's hitting your nerve though, Blaze, man.
No, that's not hitting my nerve. Not at all. Like I just said my piece on that. What hurt my nerve is, another missile, another fucking bunch of kids, you know what I mean? Shit like that, regardless of who did it. You know what I mean? I'm tired of seeing fucking children that have no idea what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? In pieces on fucking roadsides and shit. That's
Can I get the cowbell, B? Can I get the cowbell?
Stop watching the news.
That's what I do.
you chose the wrong profession, my friend. You don't have the stomach for your profession.
I can still get fucking, get agitated about something I'm talking about.
You need a different hobby. Learn how to milk a cow. Here, grab a thumb.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to milk a cow, all right?
Because seeing people, blown up and fighting and war, we saw it for 2 decades in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yes,
you're just going to continue to see it all around the world. This shit ain't going nowhere.
Right. And I forget what general it was. It wasn't the known general down there in Vietnam. It was just, a general that was running an area or something like that. And he had said, he's like, soon as his quote was, I'm not going to say his quote exactly, but I promise you're going to get what he meant. He said something to the fact that as soon as the American people see stuff like this on the American news stations is when we're going to have a big problem. And soon as the news started reporting fucking, I don't care if they were Koreans or whatever, little girls walking down the street fucking burnt half to death and, shit like that. So.
You talking about McFarland?
Who?
You talking about McFarland?
No, he was the head guy. I can't think. This was just another general that ran.
Not
a different
Westmoreland.
area. No, not Westmoreland.
All right.
It wasn't George Washington, was it?
No, it wasn't him either.
Hey, he was a general, right, Blaze?
I know.
Just saying, dog.
You
Just
know.
saying.
I could have
Hey,
said
but,
Washington. Go ahead, man.
Are we going without a break?
Hell, might as well. Shit.
Yeah, we're gonna run right into Karen Reed.
Okay.
All right. I got a little something. I got a little something, and then you can dive right in, buddy. Okay.
I just want to share something real quick on the Jewish thing. So there's these little blue pins to support Jewish people. They're lapel pins and stuff, or you put them in your hat, your business suit, and it looks like a phishing scam. Looking to get your email, but no, they were legit. I received my pin today, man.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yes. And Julian Edelman, he is a Jew.
Yeah.
He joked on that on Tom Brady's roast.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say that.
All
I'm
right.
done yapping, Blaze man.
All right, so let's jump into. We hope that some of you that are watching us right now have jumped into the Karen Reed murder trial. Was she framed? Did she do it? Did they set her up? Quite a few of us here on the way we see it are leaning towards that she might have been set up. Okay, it's a little bit shady. We are going to give you what happened today with some testimony and things to that nature. So let's take a listen, ladies and gentlemen.
A key witness is testifying today in the trial of a woman accused of murdering her Boston police officer boyfriend. Karen Reed is accused of hitting and killing John O'Keefe with her SUV in 2022. The defense says law enforcement is framing her. Reed has pleaded not guilty. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson is with us now to discuss this and other cases. So, Jessica, witness on the stand, ATF agent Brian Higgins is on the stand today, and he's really one of the three men the defense is suggesting as an alternate suspect in the murder. What evidence are her lawyers putting forth for this?
So right now, there's a lot of evidence about Higgins' relationship with Reed, and a lot, as I'm reading the reporting at this moment, about text exchanges that they had leading up to the death. Very flirtatious text exchanges where Reed asks versions of, "Are you interested in me?" Higgins responds, "Are you still with O'Keefe?" That's, of course, her former boyfriend who died. And Higgins right now is testifying, "I wasn't really sure what these text messages were about. I wasn't sure if she was trying to figure out if she could put me in the middle." And so I think part of what we're hearing right now, or what the jury is hearing, is certainly allegedly helpful for Reed in the sense that, well, maybe somebody else had the motive to kill O'Keefe. But also, I think is potentially implicating her in the sense that he's saying, "I felt the sense that maybe she was setting me up here."
So we got a lot of cases to talk about. So those interested can go to cbsnews.com to read more about that, in our CBS Boston station in particular. But I want to ask you about the trial of doomsday conspiracy theorist Chad Daybell. He's accused of killing his wife and his then girlfriend's 2 kids in Idaho. I mean, the story is really brutal and hard to read information about. Lori Ballard.
All right, D, you're up, brother.
Brian Higgins. Wow, I feel for him. Yeah, there was a lot of flirt. Why am I sending you that information? Because I wanted to make a point to the whole group, and I know you could help me on this. Was the Jewish people are always been involved with this country, man, right from the get-go, man. And that gentleman I sent to you is Hyman Solomon. He was a financier for George Washington's army. So, always, stepping in and stuff, that's it. Go ahead, Donnie. I'm sorry. Can't hear you.
My bad. My apologies. The dude on the stand, he was texting the girlfriend of the guy that died.
Yes.
That's who's going back and forth. And she's texting him about, she wants to get in his pants, or he's texting her about, I want to get in your pants?
I think she was like checking him to see how far. But there's also Ring video camera because she kissed him on the lips at one time when they're at the house, and she knows her boyfriend John was looking through the Ring video cameras and probably found that peck and stuff. That communication died, the texting back and forth, on the 23rd. On the 29th, Mr. O'Keefe was murdered in the home. I mean, they say he got hit by her, but no, I don't believe that. She texted him that next morning at 9 o'clock. She texted him, John died, and he did not respond.
That sounds like
And
he already
he's
knew.
also lead investigator too, right?
No, Michael Proctor is, but they've been saving him.
I thought she was she had a thing with him as well.
No,
No,
So
I read that wrong. Okay.
I'm sorry, I haven't caught it yet. You
All right, let's see.
right.
The defendant's blood alcohol content the morning her boyfriend was found dead in a blizzard. NBC 10's Katie Benoit tells us the victim's niece and nephew also testified today.
Karen Reed with this reaction in court as the defense questioned a doctor who tried to save her boyfriend, John O'Keefe, in 2022.
Is there anywhere on that report that says that the patient came in and there was a statement by EMS that the victim appeared to have been struck by a vehicle?
So no, there is not.
The Mansfield woman accused of backing into her boyfriend with her SUV is also facing a manslaughter while operating under the influence of alcohol charge, in addition to second-degree murder. An expert who worked at the Massachusetts Crime Lab testifying what Reed's BAC might have been if her last drink was at 12:45 a.m., using calculations from a serum test taken at the hospital.
The minimum amount that was calculated would have been a 0.135 gram percent.
And then with regard to the maximum, what, if any, result did you get from your mathematical calculations in regard to that?
The result was a 0.292 gram percent.
The defense firing back.
So you didn't conduct any of the testing.
Correct.
You're just assuming the accuracy of a single test that was performed by a hospital.
Actually,
Hello.
yeah.
O'Keefe's niece and nephew also testified today.
Yeah.
They couldn't be recorded since they're both minors. According to NBC 10 Boston, the two children said arguing between Reed and their uncle increased the month of his death. They haven't talked to her since then. ATF agent Brian Higgins was also on the stand again for a short time today.
If I had saw John O'Keefe on the side of the road, I would have done something to make a difference.
In Dedham, Katie Benoit, NBC 10 News.
Mind if I ask a question? Guys.
Go, Mr. B, go. What's your question?
Go, B.
What is the actual cause of death that is listed?
Not sure.
I don't know. I don't know. I know. So the defense is saying he got struck by a vehicle.
There has to be a coroner's report that says blah de blah is the cause of death. Whether it was, you can have someone who got, hit by a car, but the cause of death could have been they got hit by a car after the guy had an aneurysm and fell down the middle of the road.
No, I think I know what it is.
You know?
Hypothermia. I think they labeled it as hypothermia and cardiac arrest because he was found outside.
If that's what it is.
Oh, so let's go back to the crime lab real quick, Blaze Man, if you don't mind. And you're probably going to help me with this answer. Wasn't that gentleman there on the stand? He used to be part of the Massachusetts State Police crime lab. Wasn't it 2-3 years ago where you guys lost a lot of indictments because the crime lab messed up a bunch of samples?
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
a
lot.
What does it tell you with that gentleman there? He doesn't work for the state no more because he's wearing some company's sleeve on his chest. Witness gone. Another thing on Patrick Higgins, man, and we talked about it him using that device just to extract the threads that he was in communication with, is there's this gentleman, Sean McDonough. I got to put a little plug in for him, Blaze. It's going through the motions. And this gentleman's a retired DEA agent, and he has a lot of ties still up to Boston, but he lives in Florida. He grew up South Boston. I can't remember the little suburb that he was talking, but he's getting wind that Brian Higgins, when he was in the house, he was trying to pull the dog off O'Keefe.
No.
Yes, bro. Yes. I've been following this case, with leads everywhere else. And Lally is the prosecutor. He lost after the second witness went up there.
You think so?
Yeah, they try. What they started was they tried that she was an adulteress. She was a violent person to John. The flirtation. What else? Oh, the alcohol and shit. They started testing her blood at the hospital, but when they started getting wind of it, it's a little confusing for me to say right now. I need to gather my thoughts and say it correctly. Donnie B.
I was trying to read about the cause of death to answer Mr. B's question, and it says on January 31st, 2022, autopsy conducted by the Office of Chief Medical Examiner, blah, blah. The doctor opined that the extensive injuries to his head likely rendered Mr. O'Keefe incapacitated. The doctor further opined that upon viewing Mr. O'Keefe's injuries and her examination of the body, she observed no signs of Mr. O'Keefe being of any type of physical altercation or fight. So if he was in no altercation or no fight, then how does he have the deceased? How does he have bite marks and shit like that on him from a dog?
And he's in Blackout Drive too.
Because the big conspiracy about it is
the eyes,
fucking like
the
they're
eyes.
they're all like family and shit like that, right, D? I mean, we
Yes,
had a
man.
chop up.
Yes.
It was almost like a Game of fucking Thrones chop. You know what I mean? Of the witnesses and who said this and who were they involved with that and this and that. That was crazy. That was crazy in itself.
The medical report says all of that, but it doesn't say this person. The cause of death was blah. It didn't say cause of death by bleeding out.
Say. Right? It doesn't say.
Couldn't find nothing about that. So if anybody finds that, maybe that answers a lot of questions.
And
absolutely.
And you know what's crazy? When they impounded her car for evidence searching, Brian Higgins had a key fob, a key card to enter the Canton PD, and there's different locations within the department, i.e., the Sally Port. It's basically a secured area where they take criminals, they take victims. They read them their rights, arrest them, and then release them. Nobody stays in jail no more. But when that car was impounded, Mr. Higgins was like in that alleyway much of the time. There's 90 minutes of that vehicle in the state in Canton PD department without no record on file.
Oh, what? Oh, shit.
And then the next day, the chief of Canton PD goes to the crime scene and miraculously finds reflectors.
Yeah,
I mean, from the
vehicle. Yeah.
And then today on the
and he brought the reflector thing. Right? It was in a bunch of pieces, right?
Yes.
Shattered.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. They had a reflector things brought in all these things. Where on her vehicle do they have any evidence that it impacted this reflector?
That's what he's telling you.
Yes. And what I was going to lead to is the IT specialist for the Canton PD. There's one camera in question. And the gentleman was basically telling, the state trooper asked me for this. I cut this time from 12 to 2 o'clock. I downloaded it and I gave it to him. Now there's like 2 minutes missing. And the reason why they're 2 minutes, because the way Miss Reed left that house, went by the public library. And if you're seeing three reds in the back, because you got the center one up there on an SUV or a passenger car, you ain't going to see white because her lenses weren't cracked.
Right.
And she cracked her lens the morning she went out
Backed
to
into
go
that
look
other SUV.
to go look for him. He hit John's parked SUV at his house.
Yeah.
And you can see the car fucking boom.
Yep. You can see the wheels move forward. Yep. Yep.
And there's going to be a lot of people going to jail for this, man.
Good.
I see 3 already.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
I see.
They have this, and she's not acquitted yet.
No, it's a shame, Donnie. It's a shame.
They're trying to railroad the broad. I'm telling you.
I couldn't do all that. I'd have to kind of judge, be like, hey, clear the room. I want to, jury, do you have, can you say right now there is reasonable doubt that this woman didn't do this? And if every one of them jurors said yes, you mean to tell me a judge couldn't bring everybody back in and say, hey, this shit's over, man? Good luck, prosecutors. You need to come back with more.
Could, but do they want to? Go ahead, B.
Gentlemen, I have a sense, a real, more than just a sneaking suspicion here, that when this thing really rolls, this is going to open up a can of worms, a civil service corruption scandal that is going to rock the loving fuck out of the Boston area police department. Because something tells me that they are doing whatever they can to cover up a bunch of nefarious bullshit that's been going on probably for decades.
Right.
And that these people are all involved in.
Yep. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in tonight for the way we see it right here on a Tuesday night. It is 5/28/2024, and it is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I like to say peace and love to each and every one of you out there that tuned in to us. Please like and share the network. There's plenty of shows on tomorrow from 7 to 8 p.m. All shows at Eastern Standard Time on the FFN network. Tomorrow from 7 to 8 p.m. is Politicking with Mr. B right here. He's going to have a great show for you tomorrow. And followed by I-12 GIA, Real Talk with Real People. Also, another fine show here on the network. And
Can I interrupt you? It's
Thursday
important.
is... Yes, go ahead.
Okay, we had a discussion because they are giving the jury in the Trump trial, giving them the case to make a decision. We have decided that we are going to have a joint politicking and I-12 GIA tomorrow evening. If a jury renders a decision, if it comes in, we will have a joint thing starting at 7 p.m.
He charged the jury already?
The jury is getting the case, or has been given the case. He hasn't given the instruction, but they're supposed to start deliberating tomorrow.
Did Trump's lawyers stop? Did Trump's lawyers stop? Because when we were coming on the show, they said they were still in there bobbing their gums for another.
They're all done. They're all done.
So it's been handed to the jury for them to deliberate.
Deliberations start tomorrow.
All righty.
Anyways, peace and love to each and every one of you out there. D.
Peace and love, Blaze, man. I like that. And thank you,
Donald. Oh, I'm
Great.
sorry. I
Thank
thought
you.
you was done, bro.
I am D. I am Blaze.
Yeah, it's all right, man.
Sorry.
Good. Donald.
Oh, just hey, however we're connected, man. Appreciate you. Think positive, do positive, man. I'm Papa Smoke. We'll see you next week.
There you go. Mr. B.
Boys.
Peace and love, and I love a peace. So I'll see you soon. Take care.
Gosh darn it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Catch ya later.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
You have just watched an FFN Network production.